Greetings, welcome, thank you for choosing to spend a few minutes of your day with me, fellow fans of Clash of Clans. It is your host, Galadon, and today, none other than Gem Fix Farm Max That Rush, episode 35, Viewer Raids. Now, you guys, the viewers, the live stream viewers are so helpful. Let me tell you, they are so quick to provide an amazing, powerful, OP, incredibly perfect attacking army like this one right here. If you're not familiar with P.E.K.K.A. Heal Trush Graspo Rizbal Bong, this is one of the best attacks in the game. If you didn't get a chance to write that down, I won't repeat it, so don't worry about it. Yes, this attack, incredible, and again, it comes down to, you guessed it, spell timing and placement. These spells, combined with these incredible troops right here, are guaranteed to drop a 3-star every single time. It's just the way it works, and I don't even know. It's crazy. Unfortunately, yes, we've broken Clash of Clans on Facebook Gaming, and, well, you know, we'll just have to see what happens. Unfortunately, if this attack does spread too far, then I would imagine that the game will shut down completely, and we'll all go have to play Heyday. So, do me a favor. Don't copy this exact raid. Use other permutations, variations of it, and we'll all get along. We'll all have a good old time. But seriously, it was interesting. You know, I've been farming Gem Fix Farm Max That Rush, just like, you know, P.E.K.K.A. Smash, P.E.K.K.A. Smash, P.E.K.K.A. Smash, Hog Rider, Miner, or Electro Dragon, whatever it is. And you guys probably feel the same way, right? When you're farming, you get to a point where you're kind of just like unconscious. You're not really enjoying it as much, and that's when it's time to break out the unusual armies. And as you can obviously tell, yes, Galadon is OP, or the strat is OP. I don't remember what the saying is. Let me know down in the comments. What is that saying? How does it go again? If the strat's OP, Galadon can... Anyway, okay, so, yeah, I mean, it's something interesting. It's something different to do. And again, I challenge you to come up with attacking strategies that are different, but not impossible. You know, it's fun to come up with a weird attack strategy that might actually work, or that you could make work, even though it seems like it probably wouldn't. And check out the loot. That's right, over 1.1 million loot, not including the loot bonus with that crazy army. Now, we're not going to break the game, so I'm not going to repeat that exact army. So this one you're seeing right here, a slight variation, and because of that, it probably won't function quite as well as that first attack. So that first attack was flawlessness, was picture perfect form, function, spell, troop timing, and placement. Everything else went off without a hitch. And, you know, that's rare that those things happen, and it's something that you can strive towards as a clasher, but you need to expect that, you know, I've been around a little bit longer than you, most likely. I've probably played the game longer than you, and yes, it just takes experience. It takes this kind of gala experience to pull off raids like that. So you guys continue to have fun, you do your thing, and you know, you can always watch. You can always watch those raids happen on my channel and in my live stream. Because actually, these raids were devised in the live stream chat. Now, the way I did these, you'll notice they are kind of like maybe a Noah's Ark attack, is I had the chat say, just name a unit and I'll train it. One of each, one per person. So it was like healer, wizard, wall breaker, goblin, giant, archer, and each person named one troop until we had all of the troop lists full. And then we did the same with spells, you know, clone, skeleton, poison, jump, haste, whatever the case may be. Luckily, I had some friends in there that were yelling out some slightly more useful troops, so we did get rage and not just a bunch of skeletons and haste spells, most of the time. Now, I will say not all the time, but we'll get to that in just a moment. So, you know, maybe it's not a serious way to farm. Obviously, these raids are not meant to be the staple way to try to raise the most money to get unrushed. Speaking of, yeah, I am still getting insulted in globals pretty much constantly for being rushed. But nonetheless, so this is another attack, and it worked out pretty well. If you want to copy the army composition, it's right there for you. It was a boosted army because many of those troops are not yet maxed out. And then we did it again. And I'm telling you right now, I mean, this was surprising. Now, I was pretty worried at this point when I saw the loot come up, 700, 7,000. And I thought, all right, I'm bringing a viewer army to a serious base right here. And I thought, you know, maybe it's not going to turn out so well. But I don't know, you guys. Do you feel like this is kind of a message that says, hey, wait a minute. the game is kind of tilted towards offense right now. I mean, if I can go out and farm in Titan 3 and pick off bases like this with just about any army. I mean, again, I did have 4 rage spells, the jump, a couple of freezes, those all kind of did help out. But beyond that, I mean, seriously, if you look at the units that were there, I spammed them all in one spot and then just kind of hoped and prayed that things would work out, dropping the jump, the rage, the earthquake, and sure enough, everybody pretty much beelined right for the middle of this base. Now, unfortunately, of course, we've got balloons coming out of the CC. They're going to absolutely devastate any ground army coming in. I'm trying to get the queen to take them out. I used the freeze spells to try to help out. I did not have a poison, obviously, so, and then the warden ability. We lost pretty much everybody right there in the middle, but sure enough, that's right, just enough on the outsides, Electro Dragons, P.E.K.K.A.s, the Archer Queen in the middle, and a couple more P.E.K.K.A.s, we are able to get in there and grab the 2-star. So I was beginning to feel like, well, wait a minute, this could pretty much work in any situation. I mean, here we are, picking apart base after base after base with a quote-unquote rushed account. Okay, I guess the rushed part only counts on defense anymore because most of the troops attacking are maxed out, and the Barbarian King, he's the really only one that's lagging behind right now. Everybody else completely maxed out. So another solid raid, and most of the loot gets deposited. And then there was Adam S. and Adam's insistence upon a goblin jump raid. Sure enough, we find another base with over 1 million in loot, and we run in with just 280 goblins and jump spells. So you can probably guess how this is going to end. Now, it didn't go as badly as I thought it might. We did kind of hope for a moment there. It looked like I might get in and at least get the town hall down. The Archer Queen was kind of headed in that direction, and the goblins had sort of funneled. But check out what was in the clan castle. Now, I was going to say goblins' worst enemy, but pretty much any troop that comes out of the clan castle is the goblins' worst enemy. And the Archer Queen, Grand Warden, they didn't do so well either, and that raid was over before you knew it. And, well, you know, I got a little bit of the loot, so we can't complain too much. We did pick up some loot, and eventually, this kind of sold me on switching back to a more serious farming army. So we tried to switch it up. Obviously, you guys saw me doing a lot of P.E.K.K.A. Smash, E-Dragon spam style attacks, but at the same time, I'm continuing to practice this one right here. Now, this is Queen Charge Hog Rider, the Itsu army. Okay, if you look and copy this army troop for troop, spell for spell, this is the army that Itsu has advertised and talked about in his videos. If you're not checking out his channel, you definitely should. He takes deep dives into crazy strategy and breaks it down for you. So basically, that's all I was doing right here, was I kind of started out with a little bit of a YOLO as far as letting the Archer Queen decide which way she's going to go. She decides to go left, and because of the way this base is laid out, I didn't really care that much which way she went. I figured I would complete my funnel on the side that she goes down. She goes down that right-hand side towards 3 o'clock, so we get the P.E.K.K.A. right at 3 o'clock. The Wall Wrecker gets her in there, and now she's getting massive value in the core as the X-Bow, a bunch of defenses, and of course, critically, the Eagle Artillery go down. Now remember, yes, there was no clan castle, but you'll notice, easily handled would have been anything that comes out of that clan castle. We had the poison spell. The Archer Queen was there. She wasn't taking a lot of damage, so she gets through the poison. The only real difference here is there was no Archer Queen in this base, and okay, the Barb King is half what mine is, but he's half the man that I am. That's right. Okay, speaking of men, here comes some men on hogs, and the Hog Riders doing a great job right here. Again, you'll notice the funnel has kind of created this U-shaped or C-shaped base, and that's going to make it easy for the Hog Riders to keep that narrow pathway at the top of your screen. The Barb King has kind of continued what the P.E.K.K.A. had begun in that funnel at the very top, so that works out at least to pick up some of the garbage buildings out there. You'll see there are a couple of defenses that get left behind, but again, the base was soft enough that we didn't have too much of a problem with it. Right there, the Warden ability, perfect timing as the giant bomb goes off, and the Hog Riders just blaze their way through the rest of these defenses at the bottom of the base. At the top, you'll notice we had a couple head back up there towards those remaining defenses. The last heal spell is down. We still have the Archer Queen's ability. We've got a full health Archer Queen, a full health Grand Warden, and the Barb King, somehow with like 1 hit point left, he's managed to roll all the way around to the 9 o'clock side of this base and easily a 3-star with Queen Charge Hog Rider. And again, it's great practice. It's fun to goof off, but it's also amazing to actually practice an army that could be functional in a clan war for 3 stars. And this worked out pretty well. The entire raid conducted in just over 2 minutes and 40 seconds. So 20 seconds left at the end of this raid. And one of the things I love about Hog Riders over miners, they are so much faster getting through a base. So again, big loot. We're doing pretty well. Here's the base, still looking pretty rushed. I admit it, but less and less every single day. And again, less insults in global. And that's really what matters, right? Not. Okay. So seriously, let's get into the daily deals. We are going to spend 1,585 gems on these because wall rings, I'm telling you right now, these walls. Now, okay, wait, I wish I could go back in the past and tell myself not to waste 300 gems on 5 levels of Barbarian King. Did you guys think about that before I did? I obviously did not consider the fact that I just dumped those. Yeah, that was not wise. Anyway, so there's the base. We're again farming around Titan 2, Titan 3. This is the progress base. And again, the walls are coming along. Level 10 walls still over half, but we have a quick set of upgrades to do here because again, we bought a bunch of wall rings and we've got about 8 million gold, 6 million elixir, working on a level 51 Barb King. But in the meantime, we run through the wall rings and the wall upgrades and close in ever so much closer to at least 50%. And I told you this in a previous episode. I feel like for some reason, whenever you're dealing with anything, if you can get to that halfway point, it feels so much more manageable. Whether it's a long run, a massive amount of homework, a huge book you have to read, or maybe it's a terrible movie or TV show that your wife or girlfriend is making you sit through. I don't know, just use your own example. Let me know if you feel me down in the comments, but I feel like anytime you can say, hey, I'm halfway, it makes things go a little bit faster. Now, please don't remind me in the comments. I do not need to hear about level 13 walls. Okay, that's off the table. Okay, that's not open for discussion. I mean, oh man, that's the thing. If I sit here and look at how long it's taken me to get these walls from 10 to 11, and then I have to do this 2 more times, and each time it's going to get progressively worse, I'm telling you right now, friend to friend, do not rush your town hall until you've maxed out your walls. And 161 level 10 walls are still to go. Now, do you see a problem with this base? I do. It's on the right hand side. It's called not enough gems. Okay, so we were down to under 250 gems remaining. Now that's not appropriate for this account. So we went ahead and bit the bullet for another 14K. And yes, you will add that to the tally at the end. Don't worry, you know we are closing in on another big, very round number. But again, I feel like we have to do this 14,000 at a time because we are saving, technically. You know, you're saving by spending, right? When somebody comes home and says, I saved 20% on everything I bought, you're like, but you spent more money than we had in the bank. But I saved money. Okay, so that's what we're doing here. Hopefully not spending more money than we have in the bank, but we are buying the larger gem packages just so that we can get that ever so slightly better deal. Okay, so we use that to wake up the Barb King and to head back out into farming mode. And this is where I ran across something that was kind of interesting and kind of unique, and I'm not even sure. I mean, I didn't get a really good look at this base. So it said something about, I think it probably said, love you, Clash of Clans, and Supercell. But I thought this was clever and unique because they had spelled out Supercell a la the Supercell logo and not just the word Supercell across the screen. I did have to block out the clan and the player and that first word because, well, let's just say everybody is entitled to their opinion, but be careful what you put down. For this player, it's no longer in the game. That's right, they got banned, and it wasn't my fault. Actually, it wasn't my fault. I went back and looked, and sure enough, they were no longer around. So R to the I to the P. All right, so we moved on to this base because I would rather look at huge loot than letters spelled out with your special walls, okay? So 800,000 gold, 600,000 elixir, over 6,000 dark elixir, and Hog Riders one more time. This time we decided to avoid that single target Inferno down at the bottom of the base that kind of had that peculiar placement. thought that we would start right here. And again, this was the YOLO portion. This was the Gallicanth funnel portion of the attack, where you let the Archer Queen decide which way she's going to go, and then and only then, you send in your siege machine, your funneling units, after you know which way the queen is going. Now, despite the fact that the single target Inferno was there, the Wall Wrecker doing a great job right here with the use of the freeze spell, and that's where I really love Itsu's army. You'll notice that he's got an Earthquake just in case, just so you can turn that Town Hall into a weapon. Now watch the single target Inferno on the right-hand side. Boom! Did you notice the lights are out? That's right. The single target Inferno actually ran out of juice in the middle of this raid. And it's funny, in all my years of playing, I don't think that's something that I remembered witnessing, and then I've seen it happen twice in the past week. So strange but true, perhaps, but obviously just part of the game. Players not logging on. However, you don't have to reload your stuff manually anymore. You have to at least log on in order for it to automatically reload. And Abby here apparently had not been around for quite a few attacks. So anyway, we are getting through this base more or less right now. We forgot to drop the P.E.K.K.A. early, so we went ahead and just threw it down the outside. Now the Hog Riders really have nowhere to go but more or less to the core of this base, and yes, I will admit it's a little bit sloppy funneling because that is a very wide pathway of defenses right there for those Hog Riders to have to face. But when you've got an Earthquake, a Rage spell, and a Heal spell all on top of each other and the Warden's ability, no doubt you're getting right through the middle, and that's exactly what happened. Now it was just a matter of trying to find the biggest pack of hogs. Is it the ones down by the Eagle? Is it the ones at the top? I went up top, and sure enough, they're going to split up on me. But whatever. Okay, so now the Eagle is still up. Okay, so this is not going particularly well right here, as the Eagle is just pounding away on the Hog Riders. This Tesla took out my last balloon. I thought maybe the YOLO balloon could make it in. That's not going to happen either. Check out the Hog Riders closing in on the Inferno Tower, on that offending Tesla, and right here I've got like 2 Hog Riders left, 1 Hog Rider left, and he's on the Eagle all by himself, and he's also in the dead zone of the Eagle. And then we've got a healer and a P.E.K.K.A. A couple other units are closing in, and sure enough, check this out. As the healer is healing the P.E.K.K.A., and it looks like the Eagle has targeted the wizards at the top of the screen. So the Hog Rider gets through the Eagle Artillery by himself, and then the P.E.K.K.A. rolls in. When with about 10 seconds left, we get through the Dark Elixir storage, and the last thing we get was really the most important building in this raid. So we walk away with over 8,000 Dark Elixir and nearly 2 million in loot right there, feeling pretty good about it. And yes, it is time to go and spend it again. But we're consistently spending it on walls. I told you guys we were going to get there, and that is exactly what we're doing, walls and heroes, but I'm still leaving it open to discussion if you guys want to see it change. So let's go with the status report. It is time for the status report as we review what we have done throughout the entire series. Today, we did buy a $99.99 gem pack, taking the total to $28.7806. Gems spent today. We spent another couple thousand of gems, 2,293, $16.37 worth. Time spent, man, this is looking harder and harder too. 109 hours. Okay, next goals. Yes, I know the wall grind continues, but you know what's coming up? That's right. It is Viewer Clan Wars, so get into a Facebook live stream at fb.gg/Real Galadon Gaming, and you too can compete for fame and fortune, or at least semi-fame. All right, thank you guys as always for sticking around all the way to the end of the episode. You're the true hashtag GalaFam. Love you guys. Listen first in the comments. Have a fantastic day. Make the best of it. I'll see you back here again tomorrow for more full attacks. Oh yeah, be kind to the people and animals on the planet. Easy on the planet, right? Yeah. Where's my cafe mocha? Peter! Galadon! Galadon, no more cafe mocha for you. You'll get a bad heartbeat.